So what is the benefit in providing service in residential real estate today when you're single?
Good question.
Or while you're still single. I know you've got a girlfriend, right? But while you're still single, what is the benefit of not being married, not having kids, and
this is something I say to all vendors. I don't have to be home at a certain time. I'm thinking about their property when other people are probably thinking about their families and stuff. I know that sounds a bit odd, but it's true.
No, it is true.
It's true. When it gets 6, 7, 8 p.m. on a Sunday evening, I'm messaging all my vendors telling them what my plan is for the week, how I'm going to execute that, and there's certain buyers I'm going to speak to and try and get to their property. I don't think a lot of agents do that. And that was something I was taught from the guys I used to work with as well. And I think in our residential game, the importance of the vendor knowing that the agent's available at all hours of the day or night is extremely important.
Yes.
And the speed of their response as well is also important.
Right.
The amount of different things we used to do in commercial to try and find buyers and also inform our vendors every step of the way of what we're doing was something I don't think a lot of people in this residential space do at all. And I think that training has taught me that you've got to think outside the box, but you've got to always be there for your vendor because you're acting on their behalf and you have to do everything in their best interest.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't feel right sometimes.
Yes. Okay. Explain that to me.
I think there's buyers sometimes who try to put you in certain positions to try and do things that they want to do. You have to always remember that you're acting for the vendor in their best interest.
That's right. They are an absolute priority in every single time. So, and look, there's one of the things that I found with better agents and listening to some of your dialogue on the phone at home, right? So that you're always trying to squeeze the maximum price out of the buyer.
Of course.
And sometimes the buyer needs a lot of education. So there's a lot of market research that goes in.
Yeah, exactly.
To a listing before you reach the first inquiry, isn't there?
Yeah, even yesterday, with a buyer, I printed off the most comparable sales that had sold for that property and then worked out what those land rates are and put them on a bar graph. And said, this is X, this is where these other sales have been, and working them up that way.
Right. Okay. Did that work?
It did work, yes.
Okay,
because if you just showed them the properties, they're not thinking about the actual underlying land value and things like that. Obviously, that was more of the development side, but it's case by case.
Yes.
And with homes, there's other ways that you can do that, and it's a bit more emotional, tied into it as well.
Yeah.
I think going back to your question about vendors and showing them why you're always available if you don't have a family, I think it comes down to energy as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a high energy game, and you have to be on. And sometimes people will look at maybe myself in the past, or even your brother, or that works here with me, and you, and go, what do you guys put on your cornies in the morning?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just because we're motivated. You love what we do. Yeah.
And the best agents are really good at that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Good.